This is breaking news from CBS 13.
All right, right now we're finding the latest on a father who allegedly stabbed and killed his 11-year-old son. This is a press conference on the very latest. Let's listen in.
Outside agencies located the suspect vehicle and the suspect on I-5 and Pocket Road. A pursuit ensued from there. We're ended here on I-5 and Highway 12, which resulted in an officer-involved shooting. CHP will be handling the officer-involved shooting investigation.
Do we know how many times this young boy was stabbed?
We do not know that information at this time.
Do we know what led the mother to believe that something was wrong in that home?
So there are cameras inside the residence, and the mother had seen that an assault had happened between the father and the son, and she called police immediately for us to respond.
Had you responded to that house in the past for any incidents prior to this?
We had only responded to that residence once before, and it was this past October for a medical call.
And what goes through your mind learning that this was a former deputy, someone that was in law enforcement, that is accused of this crime of taking his son's life?
We won't be commenting on anything regarding this being a former deputy. We'll leave that to Sacramento County.
Anything that you want to say about this investigation in that home?
It's just absolutely awful, and we never want to see any children getting hurt.
Where is that young person now, the 6-year-old, who was able to be unharmed?
The 6-year-old is safe right now. She was unharmed.
Do we
Can you
know
speak to the number of agencies that are here?
I do not know the number of agencies that are here right now.
And you said the pursuit was stopped right in this area. I guess, can you walk us through, what it means for a pursuit to be stopped? What happened for you guys to stop the vehicle here, and what happened after that?
For the pursuit, because it was an outside agency that did take over the pursuit, then we're going to let CHP do the conversation for that. Any other questions?
How expansive is the scene? Like, what do we see here in front of us and behind us?
Again, because the pursuit was not our scene, then we're going to leave that to CHP to comment on.
Can you say if a weapon was found in the car or anything like that?
We didn't find any, we can't talk about what was found in the vehicle at the residence. We did find an empty gun safe, but we didn't find any guns at the residence.
And what do we know about the condition of that former deputy who was shot?
We don't have an update at this time for his condition.
Is he still alive?
We don't have an update for his condition at this time.
We'll bring in Amar Gandhi now with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. And Amar, after learning that this was one of your former deputies, what can you tell us about this tragedy?
Yeah, and I mean, it's unfortunate, first of all, for that 11-year-old and their family. That's our primary thoughts right now. I can confirm he is a former deputy who was terminated in February of last year from our agency, so he was not active, did not have any peace officer powers or any other affiliation with that. I can tell you Sheriff Cooper was one of the first, actually, on his way to work, spotted the suspect vehicle. Other agencies obviously came in, and I heard the other question asked. I mean, there's roughly a dozen agencies here, so it really kind of speaks volumes to the support this region has as far as law enforcement partners go. As far as the officer-involved shooting portion of it, like we mentioned, it'll be a concurrent investigation between actually several agencies. The Highway Patrol obviously is primary on it. We'll have investigators assigned to it to run it concurrent as well, and I believe some other agencies will. I believe also San Joaquin County DA's office is here.
Do we know how many shots were fired? We know that that former deputy was hit.
I don't. Again, a lot of that's going to stem on the CHP side of it. They're going to be the primary for the actual officer-involved shooting portion of it.
But speak as to why that former deputy was terminated from the agency?
It's been well published. He was caught using illicit drugs, and then there's some other issues. But I mean, you can find all that. That's readily available. So.
Do we know if the mother lived at that house? Was she away at work, or what was the situation during the assault? Where was the mother?
I don't know. Again, that's more on the Elk Grove side of it. Our involvement on this is kind of limited in terms of that scope. We were involved, obviously, with his previous employment, and then, obviously, our concerns were raised. We heard he was possibly armed. We know his history, and then from there, obviously, our involvement here with the pursuit and capture.
But he never faced criminal charges for this, right? He was fired.
He was fired from our agency back in February, correct? From an incident back in September of 23.
What was his character like, or for those who knew him prior to this happening?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't really know him, so... He was assigned to a patrol division at the time.
He was a supervisor?
No. He was just a patrol deputy.
Just to hear that a former deputy was involved in something like this.
I mean, it's gross, right? It's nobody wants to hear about anyone involved in an incident, previous like that, especially a deputy, and then to have something like this stem from it. It's, like I said, our primary thoughts are with that family right now. It's kind of an ancillary piece, so that's kind of where our attention is focused, just more on that.
And are you able to talk about, I guess, the pursuit on your guys' end, what that looked like before ending up right here?
Fairly limited, just in the sense of he was spotted on the freeway on I-5. Like I said, Sheriff Cooper was actually there physically himself, was the first one from our agency that was there. Other units got involved. I can confirm we had 2 deputies from our agency that actually fired that were part of the OIS. I can't comment on any other agencies that were involved beyond that.
How did Sheriff Cooper know what kind of car he was in?
This is, again, a testament to the partnership of law enforcement in this region and how quick information gets shared. Really big testament to Elk Grove PD and their investigative prowess. They got that information out quickly to not just us, but to every agency around. They found not only the vehicle image, but got that information as far as a potential direction of travel. We're able to get that out to us, and obviously, it worked.
Do we know if the mom and dad lived together? Were they separated, divorced?
I don't have that.
Mar, is there any sense of, when the stop unfolded right here, what played out for the deputies that were part of the sheriff's office to draw the weapon?
I'll let CHP handle that more of that side of it, but obviously, we did have a lot of information on his history. We did hear that he was armed, so this was taken with full caution. This was a big red handle.
Other challenges for CHP in investigating this to the extent that this is going to take a while? Oh,
sure. Yeah, I mean, that I can confidently say just from any layman perspective, right? You look at this crime scene tape behind you, it's expansive. There's obviously the suspect vehicle behind us, obviously a big impact on the freeway, but, CHP is more than capable, but we'll have investigators assigned to it as well.
Tell us more about that stop, though. Did he try to fight back in any way?
Like I said, all of that right now. See, there's a lot to unfold, and this is going to take hours upon hours. So if we'll be here well past dark.
When did you first learn that it was a former deputy that was a suspect in this case?
This morning, again, just after. Again, a big shout out to Elk Grove PD. They were not only there, but information that was shared to law enforcement partners quickly allowed that information to get to us, so we found out pretty quick when that happened, and then allowed for the capture. So, and actually, I believe Highway Patrol is here and able to comment. So I'll bring, unless you guys have any more for me, I'll let them kind of maybe take the reins.
Cool. All right. Can you state your name, please?
Yes, Chief Tyler Eccles. Last name is spelled E-C-C-L-E-S. First Tyler, T-Y-L-E-R.
What can you tell us about this tragedy unfolding in the community today?
Yeah, I can only speak to what occurred after the tragic incident from this morning, that the suspect was identified traveling southbound on I-5. There was a group of officers that located him. Subsequently, CHP personnel deployed a spike strip as a result of that pursuit. The suspect, shortly thereafter, was involved in a solo vehicle collision, which came to rest behind us here that you've seen earlier, and subsequently an officer-involved shooting occurred. And that's the degree of information that I can share at this time.
Do we know if that former deputy tried to fire back or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't have any of those details as of yet. That's all going to work itself out through our investigation.
And how long was that chase that they were involved in?
I don't have the exact distance or duration of time.
You might be able to say whether or not he was in or outside of the vehicle when shots were fired?
I don't have that degree of information at this time either.
And this is a tragedy in our community. What goes through your mind when you learn that this was someone in law enforcement that you were now having to pursue and then getting into an officer-involved shooting?
Yeah, it certainly is a very tragic event. The allegations that have come forward, and we mourn with the community who is mourning at this time as well.
Where do we go from here as far as this investigation is concerned and the roadway for motorists?
Yeah, so our goal is to make sure that we, along with our partners, conduct a very robust investigation, but we also know that we're affecting traffic, and so one of our priorities is to open as many lanes as possible as soon as we possibly can. But in this type of incident where we have an officer-involved shooting, it just takes a little bit of time.
And where exactly is that car?
The vehicle,
from our vantage point.
The vehicle's a couple hundred yards behind me.
Do we know what kind of make or model that was?
I don't know specifically. It's an SUV, but I don't know the make and model.
Do we know what was found inside of that vehicle?
No, not yet.
And is that vehicle, is it on I-5 or is it here on this frontage?
It's on the frontage road, in between the freeway and the frontage road.
And considering that this happened, when obviously there's drivers passing by, I mean, obviously a fortunate situation that no one else was hurt.
Yes, it's very fortunate that no one else suffered any injury or even death after the tragic incident from this morning.
How do you go forward and work together with all of the agencies that are here today?
Yeah, there was a multitude of agencies that were involved, and we pre-planned for this. We have specific processes and protocols that we adopt and put in play when there are multiple agencies that are involved, and we've begun well into that process of making sure that those agencies that need to be involved are participating in this investigation.
We know we saw Stockton here and some other agencies. Are they going to be released from the scene now, or are they going to stay here throughout the day investigating?
Yeah, so we have a core group of individuals that will be here investigating, and as you've seen, a plethora of law enforcement officials on the freeway. We're actually in the process now of clearing most of the personnel from off the freeway itself, so we can begin the process of diagramming and investigating the incident that occurred.
What kind of evidence do you expect to find out here?
Every incident's different. Every incident's unique, and so we don't presuppose what evidence we'll find.
Anything else that you want to say about this investigation?
No, I appreciate the time and attention given to this, of the tragedy that occurred this morning, but we commit on behalf of the California Highway Patrol with our partners to conduct the investigation that needs to be done.
And have you heard personally, the condition of the suspect?
I have not.
When do we expect to learn more on whether he survived?
I could probably get you an update here shortly.
To your knowledge, did that vehicle drive off the right side of I-5, ultimately resting where it is right now?
So obviously we're going to make that determination as part of the investigation, but we believe that is what occurred at this time.
Any idea how long you expect to be out here?
It's going to be a couple of hours.
I suppose any officers that were involved are probably no longer here. They're getting debriefed or whatever it would be.
A vast majority of the personnel that were here on scene, both those involved in the incident and those that responded, have been cleared from the freeway.
Can you clarify if they were with the CHP or the Sheriff's Department?
I don't have exact clarification yet on the total number and specific individuals involved, but we'll have that we'll have that soon.
And could this have all unfolded and been caught on their dash cams?
It's possible. I don't have the answer to that right now.
Your last message to the community regarding this incident
is that we mourn with the tragedy of what was alleged this morning, and on behalf of the California Highway Patrol to the community, we are conducting a thorough investigation.
And I'm sorry if I missed this, but was the suspect, was he armed with a gun or something? Do we know that at this point?
That's all going to be part of the investigation that we're just beginning the process of. Thank you all.
All right, so that was the latest press conference, getting us up to date on the latest of a father, a former Sacramento sheriff's deputy accused of stabbing and killing his son. Multiple scenes involved in this, a lot of information coming in right now. We do want to go to Connor McGill. He's at that scene. Just listen to the press conference. Connor, can you kind of bring us up to speed on what we know now?
Yeah, well, hey there, Dominic. As mentioned, the scene here is just so expansive. If I just look over here, I'd imagine it's at least probably a half-mile scene. It was mentioned that there's dozens of agencies here. I've seen CHP, Stockton PD, Elk Grove PD, Sac Sheriff, and as mentioned, the San Joaquin DA office assisting in all of this. Now, as they mentioned, this was a pursuit from the Elk Grove area down here near Lodi and Stockton. We've seen a handful of tools being brought out by authorities, everything from just cameras to take pictures of the scene to 3D laser scanners and even drones in the air, or just getting an idea. Now, we did see a moment ago some officers grabbing some bags out of their car, meaning that they could be gathering evidence here at the scene. Now, you're looking currently at I-5 southbound. Again, this is where this pursuit ended. And I want to take your attention to where this vehicle ended up, this SUV. The roof of the car absolutely shattered out. It looks like it did sustain some pretty big damage here. And just looking at the vehicles, it seems that the sheriff's office did not go down to that ditch area. They stayed up on the highway. Something worth noting there, as mentioned, it was mentioned that a spike strip was deployed by CHP, and a several vehicle collision was caused by the suspect, ending it out right here. Again, we're monitoring this closely. They mentioned it's going to take hours on hours, meaning if you're traveling through this area right now, you want to take an alternate route. The I-5 southbound down to one lane at this point in time. The I-5 northbound, all lanes are open, and traffic is starting to pick up a bit here, but still quite the scene, and we're going to continue to monitor things out here closely for everyone as we continue to learn information. Dominic.
Connor, stay with us just one sec. I do want to ask you a question, but for anyone who's just joining us, here's kind of a quick update of what exactly happened here. That is a father, a former Sacramento sheriff's deputy, accused of stabbing and killing his 11-year-old son. That was in Elk Grove. That sparked a chase that ended down in San Joaquin County, where Connor is right now. Connor, going to the press conference, it seems like we don't know too much about what exactly happened. Once, deputies got on scene, confronted this father. Do we know if he was armed? Do we know his condition right now? What's the latest on that suspect?
Yeah, well, that's a question everyone wants to know. I know when we arrived on scene, we were told that suspect was transported to the hospital. They couldn't tell us his condition, but he was, taken from the vehicle and to the hospital. So that is worth noting. In this situation, we do learn that, Elk Grove PD did respond to a call from that mother concerned about her two kids who were with their father at the time. And when they got there, they discovered that 11-year-old clearly injured and hurt, and that 6-year-old, as they mentioned, unharmed in this case. And when they arrived, they didn't see that father at all, leading them to, start to wonder, where is he? And that's when they started this pursuit.
All right. Connor, thanks so much.